Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari
Jaya 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 Gopi Jana Girivardhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Girivardhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari
Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandan Braj Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Jayo Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe.
Jayo Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram.
Jayo Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jayo Krishna Balaram.
Jayo Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Jayo Vrindavan Dham.
Jayo Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Jayo Vrindavan Dham.
Jayo Gauranitai, 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 Jayo Gauranitai.
Jayo Gauranitai, 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 Jayo Gauranitai.
Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada.
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 Thank God, Hari Hari Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone to our session for today. So, let's begin. I think हमने जो last session है वो we did not complete the question and answers, so we will start with our Q&A from our last session, and then we'll go through our today's topic. Today's topic is also an extension of our last topic, which is also the science of reincarnation. And so let's begin. I will start the screen share. I hope you all are doing fine. So we'll start with the Mangalacharan. So we'll start with the Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakkamalam Gurun Vaishnavanshcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shicha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने, नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। So just a minute. So before we start with our today, so we will read Sri Namamrit from our today's topic, and we'll do one round of chanting, like as we do. So this is the walkthrough for our today session, and so we'll do one round of chanting, and then we'll start with our today's topic, the science of reincarnation continued. So it's a continuation of our topic which we covered in our last session as well. So before we do that, we'll cover the question and answers from our last session, and then we'll cover the today's topic. So we'll read Sri Namamrit, the Nectar of Holy Name, page 8. Would anyone like to read? Hare Krishna. If you would like to read, you can raise your hand, or you can write in the chat as well if you would like to.
Manisha Mataji.
Yes, Manisha Mataji. Please read. Okay. You have to आपको अपने आप को unmute करना होगा, Manisha Mataji. Yes.
Because Kali Yuga is such a degraded and miserable age, Lord Chaitanya advises everyone simply to chant Hare Krishna. According to Vedic conception, there must be men in society who are factually Brahmanas, capable of expanding the real truth. If everyone becomes a Sudra, the absolute truth cannot be understood. It is said that at the present moment in Kali Yuga, everyone is Sudra. Kalu Sudra Sambhava, and it is very difficult in this age to find qualified Brahmanas, for they are very rare. There is practically not a single qualified Brahmana in this age.
You can just read the English translation.
O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.
Yes, so this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam says, Manda Sumanda Matayo. Right? In this age, the people are generally misguided and lazy, and in this age, the recommended way of dharma is chanting the holy name of the Lord. So we'll move forward. Please continue, Mataji.
The people in this age are very short-lived and slow in understanding spiritual life. Actually, human life is meant for understanding spiritual values, but because everyone in this age is Sudra, no one is interested. People have forgotten life's real purpose. The word Manda means both slow and bad, but everyone in this age is either bad or slow or a combination of both. People are unfortunate and are disturbed by so many things. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, there will be eventually be no rain and consequently a scarcity of food. The governments will also levy very heavy taxes. The characteristics of this age predicted by Srimad Bhagavatam are already being experienced to some degree. Since Kali Yuga is a very miserable age, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, advises everyone simply to chant Hare Krishna.
So this, let me read. Harer Nama, Harer Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva Gatiranyatha. In this age of Kali, there is no alternative, there is no alternative, there is no alternative for spiritual progress than the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. Brihad Naradiya Puran. This process is not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's invention, but advised by the Shastras and the Puranas. The process for this Kali Yuga is very simple. One need only chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, like हमने जो पहले भी पढ़ा था, so this is the process in this age to progress in spiritual life, and and जैसे हम करते हैं तो आप सबका भी यही experience रहता है that it is very nice, बहुत अच्छा लगता है आप सबको जब हम when we do one round of chanting together. So we'll again do today, and then we'll start with our today's topic. So I think we have a new member today, Nishant Prabhu. So he is joining, I think, for the first time for today. So welcome, Nishant Prabhu. So and so just to introduce you with the process, what we do is that we chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra together, and you can keep yourselves on mute and you can chant with us. And if you have, I believe you already have the mala, so you can chant one round on your beeps. And if and I believe rest of the other members are old, and हमने last time we explained किया था that how we are going to chant. And if you have any questions, you may ask, and in the chat, or you may raise your hand, and so we'll start with our chanting session for 5-10 minutes. And Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Lord Bhaktivinoda. This is the mantra that we chant before we start our japa session, japa round, and so you can also chant and start your chanting, and you can keep yourselves on mute. Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi, Lord Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I hope कि आप सबकी भी chanting हो गई है एक round. So we'll begin our today's session. Uh, so I will again welcome you everyone to our third session, I guess, of the Bhakti Vriksha. And so we will first cover our last session's Q&A, which were जो थोड़े से रह गए थे, I think. So does anybody remembers what was the topic of our last session and what we covered? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Does anyone would like to share?
Would anybody like to share or comment कि हमने last session में क्या किया था? You can also unmute yourself and can speak one or 2 points, like 1 point from everybody if you can share.
The science of reincarnation.
Yes. तो उसमें क्या किया था हमने? What did we cover or what did we read?
The death and the birth of the
Right.
the person.
Right. So जैसे कि माता जी ने बताया तो हमने what we read that why there is something wrong which is happening to somebody and और उनको ऐसा लग सकता है कि उन्होंने तो कुछ गलत नहीं किया और ऐसा और why is there inequality in the world and और उसके पीछे हमने देखा कि when we understand this from the point of view of reincarnation and from the point of view of Bhagavad Gita, then we understand, yes, that there is logic behind it and then nothing is happening without reason. And then why is the bad happening to good people or why is good happening to bad people? So that is also we read. So we'll quickly go through our few Q&As and then there are few Q&As जो हमारे रह गए थे. So हमने जैसे ये question है कि mention some inequalities we find in life among different people in their enjoyment and suffering. So like we read that there are children who are deprived of food and education while they're in other part of the world they are having lots of like possibilities to enjoy the life or to live a life peacefully. And then but why we read that yes there is the karma philosophy जैसे हमने कर्म के बारे में पढ़ा था that they are like their actions they are like seeds और उन seeds को fructify होने में time लग सकता है. So जरूरी नहीं है कि इसी लाइफ टाइम में आपको जो आपके जो फल हैं वो मिल सकते हैं. तो और वो हम किस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जानते हैं? पुनर्जन्म के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, क्योंकि हमारे बहुत सारे पिछले जन्म हो चुके हैं और क्योंकि हम वो रिमेम्बर नहीं वी डोंट रिमेम्बर दैट एंड फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू वी कम टू अंडरस्टैंड हमको हम उसको हमने समझा था कि क्योंकि मेरे बहुत सारे जन्म हो चुके हैं तो मुझे नहीं पता कि मैंने पिछले किस जन्म में क्या किया था जिसका मेरे को रिएक्शन अभी मिल रहा है. वो पुण्य भी हो सकता है और वो लाइक पाप भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी दोनों तरीके से हो सकता था. एंड देन we understood that why do even pious people suffer sometimes. We read about karma and then explain why each person is responsible for his own karma. So that also we understood that because soul is an individual and entity and every single person is responsible for their own actions. And we also heard about collective karma and individual karma. And then how can we overcome our suffering and bad karma? That we also read that by taking up the process of Krishna consciousness we can actually do that. and how we will do that, and that will cover in our next session जो fourth आता है, and also in today's session as well. And we read about that we should we can start doing our chanting, and one round of japa we can do, like हमने मैसेज भी शेयर किया था ग्रुप में कि हम सुबह सारे like प्रभुजीज and माताजीज separately they come together and they do group chant, group japa, group chanting, and you can also join, and आप में से कुछ ऑलरेडी हमको ज्वाइन करना शुरू भी कर दिए हैं, और it is very nice. And we also read about association of devotees and honoring prasadam. So this is the very simple three step process of starting up with Krishna consciousness, and then what are the advantages of taking up Krishna consciousness, ये हमने होमवर्क के लिए दिया था. So आप में से किसी ने सोचा इसके बारे में that what are the advantages, कि हमको फायदा क्या होगा कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस अपनाने का? Does anybody would like to share? Hare Krishna. Okay, so this we will cover today. इसका आंसर हम अभी भी बता सकते हैं. So because this is for today's topic only, so we will cover more in our today's session. Yes.
Pranchu Prabhu is saying
Will become
self-realized.
self-realized. Yes, Pranchu Prabhu is right that self-realization, जो हमने जो पढ़ा था पहले सेशन की, what is the purpose is self-realization, अपने आप को जानना, वो प्रश्न पूछना that who am I, who is God, what am I doing here, and Krishna consciousness gives us all those answers. It gives us the purpose of life. So Manisha Mataji is saying we may overcome our bad karma. Yes, you are right that this is a very straight to the point answer, that इस context में जो हमारा भी चल रहा है about karma and about reincarnation, what are the advantages of taking Krishna consciousness? We don't have to born again. We will, if we follow this process of Krishna consciousness fully, and then we will get free from this cycle of birth and death. And Rajdeep Prabhuji is saying that all our past misdeeds will be forgiven by Lord Krishna. Yes, Rajdeep Prabhu, you are right. And भगवान ये स्वयं बताते हैं भगवद गीता में ही 18वें अध्याय के 66वें श्लोक में, सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. So you're right. So let's move forward. और हमने यहाँ पे छोड़ा था, I think our last session we left it here, that have you believed in this theory of reincarnation so far? Why or why not? So would you like anybody to speak or comment कि आपको क्या आप reincarnation में अभी तक विश्वास करते हैं, और क्यों नहीं, या करते थे, या फिर हो सकता है आपके इन सेशंस में आपकी जो थॉट प्रोसेस है वो चेंज हो चुकी हो, आप वो भी उत्तर दे सकते हैं कि करते थे या चेंज हो गए, या फिर अभी भी नहीं करते, या फिर पहले भी करते थे और अभी भी करते हैं. Anybody would like to answer? Okay. ठीक है, जब तक अगर कोई आंसर दे रहा है तब तक मैं आपको अपना बता सकता हूँ कि इस प्रोसेस में आने से पहले आई डिड नॉट बिलीव इन दिस थ्योरी, बिकॉज मेरे को नहीं पता था कि व्हाट इज सोल, और सोल एग्जिस्ट भी करती है कि नहीं. बट देन आई गॉट सो सैटिस्फाइंग एंड लॉजिकल आंसर्स, एंड like question after question, all the answers were very much cleared, and there is so much philosophy behind it, and there is itna sara piche se shastron ke according itna, there are so many references, or there are so many proofs which can actually prove that yes, reincarnation is a process, and soul does exist, and जैसे हमने last time भी पढ़ा था that there are multiple ways by which we can analyze or we can come to know the presence of the soul. वो हम आज भी यही करेंगे, because it's an extension to the our previous session. So but when I came to Krishna consciousness, so it totally my thinking totally changed, and then I understood, yes, oh, this is how it happens, and how does a reincarnation happens, how does transmigration happens, that we will read today. And second question is, do you want to change your karma? And do you think Krishna consciousness will help you achieve that? Why do you think so? So anybody would like to?
Nisha Mataji,
Manisha Mataji is saying that I believe rebirth is there, but how it happens is I am unaware. Yes, so that we will do it today. So how it happens and what is the process behind it, that we will cover hopefully today. And also I actually मैं बताना भूल गया that we will end this session today at 5:55 because our next session begins at 6. There is some other session on the same Zoom. So jitna we will cover today, and then we will continue with our topic and our whatever we are going to do अगले सेशन में. So this I forgot to tell you. So yes, Manisha Mataji, so this we will cover today. And so let's move forward. And this ये भी हमारा last time रह गया था, and preaching is the essence. So this is the last section which comes in your Bhakti Vriksha module, जो हमने आपको ग्रुप में भी शेयर किया हुआ है. अगर किसी के पास वो नहीं है, या फिर उन्होंने ग्रुप लेट ज्वाइन किया, या फिर किसी वजह से उनको नहीं मिल पा रहा, तो आप मुझे पर्सनली मैसेज कर सकते हैं. आई विल सेंड यू द PDF अगेन. और जितना भी ये हमारा जो ये कंटेंट है वो सारा वहीं से हमने लिया हुआ है, एंड यू कैन रीड इट when you are at home, and you can also study it. So let's read today. Preaching is the essence. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, page number 6. The Lord sends his representative to end the living entity's suffering. Because the Lord wants to maintain the creation, he desires the mass of people to follow the right path of self-realization, which enables the living being to enter into the kingdom of God. The Lord wants the suffering human beings to come back home, back to him, and cease to suffer the threefold material pangs. The whole plan of creation is made in that way that one who does not come to his senses suffer in the material world by pangs inflicted by the illusory energy of God, of the Lord. So this हमने थोड़ा बहुत इसका आइडिया हमको ऑलरेडी होगा, क्योंकि हमने ये कवर किया था in our DYPH sessions, that what is the purpose behind creating this whole world. And because we being part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, God loves us, and we being his children, and he उनकी तरफ से relationship break नहीं हुआ है, but we have forgotten our relationship back with God, because we don't know who हमको we didn't have any conception, हमको नहीं पता था that who God is, and who am I, हमको अभी तक यही नहीं अच्छे से clarity थी, and then who is God and what is my relationship with him. So, and what am I doing here in this material world, and what is the purpose of this material world. So this is what we discussed a little bit, and in our DYPH sessions as well, and this will again come in our further sessions. I think after few weeks these topics will be very much cleared, and again in depth, जैसे अभी हम reincarnation में कर रहे हैं, so like that. So, and then so the Lord does not want us to suffer if we are maybe suffering here. And देखिए last में कितना अच्छा लिखा है, the whole plan of creation is made in that way that one who does not come to his senses suffers in the material world by pangs inflicted by the illusory energy of the Lord. And तो हमने पढ़ा था how there are different kinds of कष्ट. हमको जो 3 तरह के कष्ट होते हैं, आदि भौतिक, आदि आत्मिक और आदि दैविक. और अगर हम नहीं समझते कि वो ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है हमारे साथ, तो we will never be able to get out of the cycle of birth and death and old age and disease, which gives us so much of like suffering like that. So with this, I believe we end our last session, this topic, and so now we'll start with our today's session. The science of reincarnation continued. So would anybody like to read? Yes, Shruti Mataji, please read.
Krishna consciousness is not a question of belief, it is a science. The first step is to know the difference between a living body and a dead body. What is the difference? The difference is that when someone dies, the spirit soul or the living force leaves the body, and therefore the body is called dead. So there are two things. One is this body, and the other, the living force within the body.
Hmm. Go on, Mataji.
So when your body is finished and annihilated, you are not finished. You get another body, just as you may change your coat and shirt. If you come to see me tomorrow wearing a different shirt and a different coat, does that mean that you are a different person? No. Similarly, each time you die, you change your bodies, but you, the spirit soul within the body, remains the same. This point is to be understood. Then one can make further progress in the science of Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. So, देखिए क्या कह रहे हैं? That Krishna consciousness is not a question of belief; it is a science. So, this is a very nice statement actually. So, it signifies many things. That it is not just a question of belief; it is a science. So, belief और science में क्या फर्क होता है? That belief may change with an individual, but science always remains the same, and it can be proven with experiment. एंड जब भी हम कुछ करते हैं एंड इफ इट इज बेस्ड ऑन साइंस, तो इफ जैसे कि अब अगर आप मुझसे किसी ने कुछ केमिस्ट्री पढ़ी हो या फिर कुछ करा हो, तो हम ये बता सकते हैं कि जैसे कि लेबोरेटरी में अगर आप कोई एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हो, तो अगर जैसे किसी ने बताया कि आप ये लीजिए, इसको इस मात्रा में मिक्स कर दीजिए तो ये रिजल्ट आएगा, तो हमेशा वैसा ही रिजल्ट आएगा until unless circumstances चेंज हो जाए. तो Krishna consciousness is also science. It is not just a question of any kind of a belief or any false religion. So it is कैसे, क्योंकि it is same for everybody, and it is a proven fact. And or if we follow the same process which is given by in the shastras and which are given by the acharyas, and then we ourselves will be able to understand that yes, and we will ourselves be able to experience the same thing with ourselves ki yes, I can understand, because the same I can realize it now that yes, I'm achieving the same results. I would request devotees to keep your mic on mute. So yes, आगे बढ़ते हैं. The first step is to know the difference between a living body and a dead body. What is the difference? The difference is that when somebody dies, the spirit soul or the living force leaves the body, and therefore the body is called dead. And so there are two things. One is this body, and the other the living force within this body. तो इसको हम बड़े आसान तरीके से समझ सकते हैं, जैसे हमने लास्ट टाइम भी शायद ये एग्जांपल किया था, दैट कि हमने DYPH में एग्जांपल किया था कि हमने एक एक्सरसाइज करी थी दैट we said touch your nose, touch your eyes. We were able to touch our nose, we were able to touch our eyes. हमने बोला और अपने कानों को टच करिए, अपने चीक्स को टच करिए, ईयर्स को टच करिए, सब कुछ कर पा रहे थे. बट हमने जब बोला कि टच योरसेल्फ, देन वी आर नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड वेयर टू टच. वी आर फाइंडिंग आवरसेल्व्स इन दिस बॉडी. सो लाइक दिस. एंड वी कैन से, जैसे कि एक कार होती है, सो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन कार एंड अ ड्राइवर. Who is running that car? So सब कुछ हो सकता है उस कार में, जब तक वो ड्राइवर नहीं है तब तक कार नहीं चल सकती. और ड्राइवर के ना होने से वो कार का कोई अस्तित्व, मतलब हो सकता है वो कार हो बट उसका कोई यूज नहीं है. So it is like the same that there is a difference between the one who is within the body and the body. So this is what is being told here. And so when the body is finished, you are not finished. इसको हम किस तरह से समझ सकते हैं? जैसे कि there can be possibility that the car is gone but not the driver. And so how to understand, we will come in our next slides. You get another body just as you may change your coat and shirt. जिस प्रकार से हम अपने कपड़े बदल लेते हैं, तो इसी प्रकार से उसका ये एग्जाम्पल दिया गया है of changing the body when there is death, and at the time of death the soul leaves the body and takes on another body, which we also did in our reincarnation. So if you come to see me tomorrow wearing a different shirt and different coat, does that mean you're a different person? No. Similarly, each time you die, you change your body, but you, the spirit soul within the body, remains the same. This point has to be understood. Then one can make further progress in science of Krishna consciousness. So this also comes in Bhagavad Gita, that so here Govind Dev Ji is giving the same point. This is the reference of the जो हमने अभी तक पढ़ा. So ये chapter 2 के श्लोक नंबर 13 में आता है. It's a very famous shloka, and the most सबसे ज्यादा बार दिया गया रेफरेंस है श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की तरफ से, और पहले 2-3 में आता है ये. और देहिनो अस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारम यौवनम जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिर धीरस तत्र नमुयति. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So this प्रकार से एक like a person gets born in a family, and then उसके पास बहुत छोटी सी body होती है, like a child, and then he grows and he becomes a teenager, and then he grows again, he becomes 30 years old, and then like mid age, and then old age, and then after old age there is death. Similar, and so in this process the body is changing, and it is continuously changing, just like this continuous change of the body, and उससे हमको अचंबा नहीं होता. Similarly, after the body is of no use, the soul leaves the body, and then it is called death. And then after death, the soul takes on another body based on the past karmas, and that we will understand how to do how this migration, transmigration of or जिसको हम पुनर्जन्म कहते हैं, it happens. So we will read this in our coming slides. So I'll read. The spirit soul is invisible to our material eyes. It is atomic in size. After the destruction of the gross body, which is made up of senses, blood, bone, fat, and so forth, the subtle body of mind, intelligence, and ego goes on working. So, at the time of death, this subtle body carries the small spirit soul to another gross body. So, this is the answer. जो किसने एक मिनट जैसे मनीषा माता जी ने पूछा था, that उन्होंने लिखा कि they believe in reincarnation or rebirth but don't know how it happens. So this is very nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita, that there are two bodies which are there with us. क्योंकि हमको तो एक ही लगता है कि this is our शरीर, but भगवद गीता बताती है कि ऐसा नहीं है, कि दो तरीके की शरीर हैं हमारे पास. एक है स्थूल शरीर, एक है सूक्ष्म शरीर. दोनों ही भौतिक हैं. सो एक है स्थूल शरीर, एक है सूक्ष्म शरीर. जो स्थूल शरीर है वो 5 एलिमेंट्स का बना है, जिसमें अर्थ, एयर, फायर, वाटर और ईथर होता है. एंड देन देयर इज अ सूक्ष्म शरीर, एंड देन there is a covering of sthul sharir, and then there is a covering of sukshma sharir, and underneath it is soul which lies. And the soul remains totally unaffected by whatever is happening to the body. And so जो स्थूल शरीर है वो 5 चीजों का बना होता है, अर्थ, एयर, फायर, वाटर, ईथर. एंड देन जो सूक्ष्म शरीर है वो है मन, बुद्धि और अहंकार का. और ये भी भौतिक ही हैं. ये जो 8 एलिमेंट्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं, ये 8 के 8 भौतिक हैं. बट जो सोल है, the soul is spiritual, and it totally remains unaffected. And so we will come to questions at the end, Kanchan Mataji. So we will come to question at the end. So what happens is that at the time of death, the soul, जो हमारा स्थूल शरीर होता है, सिर्फ वही डिस्ट्रॉय होता है, और फिर वही सिर्फ जो आत्मा है वो छोड़ के जाती है, और सूक्ष्म शरीर के अपना सूक्ष्म शरीर साथ लेके जाती है. और उसमें क्या आता है, मन बुद्धि अहंकार। तो ये तीनों चीजें अगले शरीर में हमारे साथ में जाती हैं। और जो सूक्ष्म शरीर, तो इस तरह दिस इज द साइंस दैट सिर्फ स्थूल शरीर पीछे जाता है और सूक्ष्म शरीर साथ जाता है। और अगर दोनों ही हम निकल जाएं, जैसे कि दोनों ही अगर डिसॉल्व हो जाएं, स्थूल शरीर और सूक्ष्म शरीर, देन इट इज कॉल्ड लिबरेशन, देन द सोल इज लिबरेटेड, एंड देन इट गोज, then the soul is liberated. So actually, so this is how it happens. And so we'll read further. The process is just like the air carrying fragrance. Nobody can see where this rose fragrance is coming from, but we know that it is being carried by air. You cannot see how it is, but it is being done. Similarly, the process of transmigration of soul is very subtle. According to the condition of the mind at the time of death, the minute spirit soul enters into the womb of a particular mother through the semen of a father, and then the soul develops a particular type of body given by the mother. It may be a human being, it may be a cat, a dog, or anything. So again, more clarification on जो हमने अभी तक क्वेश्चन था और जो हमने अभी तक पढ़ा कि हाउ दिस ट्रांसमाइग्रेशन इज हैपनिंग। देखिए क्या कह रहे हैं, दैट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दिस प्रोसेस इज वेरी सटल। सटल मतलब उसको समझना इतना गूढ़ है वो एक तरह से, इसको समझने के लिए इट रिक्वायर्स references of shastra and expertise to understand, and somebody who can guide us in that sense. And also और उसके नीचे देखिए क्या लिखता है कि according to the condition of mind at the time of death, कि जिस प्रकार का हमारे मन की स्थिति होती है मृत्यु के समय, और जो हम सोच रहे होते हैं उसी प्रकार से हमको हमारा अगला शरीर मिलता है। And the minute spirit soul enters into the, and then the minute spirit soul enters into the womb of a particular mother through the semen of a father, and then the soul develops a particular type of body given by the mother. So what happens is that जिस प्रकार से हम डिजायर करते हैं और जैसा हम डिजर्व करते हैं, उसी प्रकार से हमको हमारा अगला जीवन मिलता है। तो हो सकता है कि आई एम डिजायरिंग टू बी बोर्न इन अमेरिका, और आई एम डिजायरिंग टू बी बोर्न in a very aristocratic family, but I don't deserve it. मेरे पास इतने पुण्य कर्म नहीं है, या फिर I don't have that sukriti to get born in those kind of a family. So could be possible कि I may be born as an insect in America, or maybe I am born in some other uni in that house which I desired. So this is how it happens, because and this is so good that इवन भगवत गीता में भी ये अभी आगे जाके हम रेफरेंस भी देंगे, और ये आता है कि जिस प्रकार से हमारे मन की स्थिति होती है एट द टाइम ऑफ डेथ, उसी प्रकार से हमको हमारा अगला शरीर मिलता है। एंड ऑल्सो yes, so we will move forward with our yes. And so भगवत गीता में देखिए ये आता है 8वें चैप्टर में जो 6th श्लोक है, इसमें गोविंद देव जी बताते हैं, यम यम वापि स्मरण भावम त्याजते अंत कलेवरम तम 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 एवेति कौन्तेय सद तद्भाव भयवित। Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. So this is the reference from Bhagavad Gita which comes that जिस प्रकार से हम सोचते हैं हमारे लास्ट मोमेंट में एट द टाइम ऑफ डेथ, उसी प्रकार से हमको अगला जो शरीर है वो मिलता है। और अब हम ये भी बता सकते हैं कि अब हम क्या सोचेंगे लास्ट मोमेंट पे, हम वही चीज सोचेंगे जो हम पूरी जिंदगी करते आए हैं, जिससे हमारी सबसे ज्यादा अटैचमेंट है। वो मनी भी हो सकता है, वो मेरे फैमिली मेंबर्स भी हो सकते हैं, वो कोई घर भी हो सकता है, वो कुछ भी हो सकता है। एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू सी दैट कि हम क्या सुनते हैं और हमारा पूरा जीवन है जो वो किस प्रकार से हम बिता रहे हैं, और हमारी कॉन्शियसनेस क्या है। सो इट इज more to do with internal than external. And so this is what the reference from Bhagavad Gita is. So we'll proceed forward. You are eternal. According to your work, you are simply changing bodies. Therefore, you should want to know how to stop this business, how you can remain in your regional spiritual body. This is Krishna consciousness. So like हमने last time भी जैसे अभी जो हमारा last question था वो यही था कि that how does Krishna consciousness helps me, कि मेरे लिए इसमें क्या, what is the benefit for me in understanding all this. I agree that yes, there is reincarnation. I agree that yes, there is a soul, but मेरे मेरा इससे क्या लेना देना. So उसका आंसर हम यहाँ पे पता लगता है that we should know how to stop this whole process of repeated birth and death and the whole suffering that we are having, and and to come back in our original position, which is जो हमने पहले सेशन में भी किया था, that we being the part and parcels of the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, हमारा जो constitutional position है वो है कि हम उनको serve करें and in our spiritual body and to go back home, back to Godhead. And this is what we are supposed to do, and this is what Krishna consciousness teaches us, and in a gradual step by step manner. Not that कि हमने एक क्लास करी and मेरे को सब समझ में आ गया, I've got everything. It doesn't happen like that. It is not some magic which will happen. So it will come, but gradually and step by step. And so here it says you are eternal, and according to your work you simply changes your body. According to your work मतलब according to our karma we are changing our bodies. जैसे कि जिस प्रकार के हमारे पिछले कर्म हुए होंगे उसी प्रकार से हमको उस फैमिली में, ऐसी फैमिली में जो वो मैच करती होगी उस कार्मिक साइकिल को या फिर उन रिएक्शंस को और उस फल को, और उसी स्थिति में, उस सोसाइटी में उस तरह के तरीके से हमको जन्म मिलता है. And of course it also it depends on our what we desire and what we deserve. So I think this is it for today, and so now we can take some questions, and जो हमारे इस सेशन के questions हैं, so we will cover in our next session, but we can take few questions from here. So Kanchan Mataji
is having question. Prabhuji, I have a question. Can good karma cancel bad karma? Suppose I have done 4 good karma and 3 bad karma. So will my all 3 karmas get cancelled?
हाँ, so ये प्रश्न बहुत ही ज़्यादा पूछा जाता है that कि can good karma be cut by bad karma, कि ओ मुझसे गलती हो गई तो मैं कुछ अच्छा कर लेता हूँ तो मेरा ये प्लस माइनस हो जाएगा algebra की तरह, like 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. So no, Mataji, it doesn't happen like that. So Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that this karma, this theory and this working of karma is so complex that it is very difficult to understand and how karma works. And what happens is that as we keep on doing our karma, we get more entangled, and it doesn't happen that good karma will cut the bad karma. No, it doesn't happen. So good karma will have their own results and bad karma will have their own results. जैसे हमने last time भी धृतराष्ट्र का example पढ़ा था कि मैं दोबारा एक बार आपको बताता हूँ कि what happened was कि धृतराष्ट्र, आप सब पता ही होगा धृतराष्ट्र के बारे में, तो वो एक स्टोरी आती है महाभारत में कि कुछ अपने जन्म पहले उन्होंने, वो एक हंटर हुआ करते थे, तो और उन्होंने एक ट्री पे एक नेस्ट था एक बर्ड का, और उसमें उन्होंने उस नेस्ट को जला दिया था, जिसकी वजह से जो वो घोंसला था वहां पे जो 100 बच्चे थे उस बर्ड के, वो मर गए थे. और उसको बाद उसको, so this was his karma that he killed those 100 children of a bird. And then what happened is that now he is going to get some reaction, he's going to get equal and opposite reaction to this karma, that कि अगर उन्होंने ऐसे किया तो उनके साथ भी ऐसा ही होगा, and we know कैसा हुआ. But उसको करने से पहले, like उनके धृतराष्ट्र needs to have that piety, needed to have that piety कि उस 100 जो बच्चे थे जो उनसे मर गए थे या फिर जो उन्होंने मारे थे, उसका रिएक्शन भोगने के लिए उनके लिए पहले इतनी उनके पास इतना पुण्य होना चाहिए या फिर इतनी पाइटी होनी चाहिए, उनके पास 100 पुत्र हों. So it was not that कि अब -100 हो गया and I will do something and +100 then it will go to 0. No, it has to, उन्होंने, so he had to had that piety, so उन्होंने वो piety इकट्ठी करी होगी उन अगले जन्मों में, और उसके बाद when Mahabharat happened, then Dhritarashtra lost all his 100 sons, and this is how he got the reaction to, and he got that reaction fulfilled कि क्योंकि उन्होंने ऐसे किया था तो उनको उनके जो 100 पुत्र हैं वो उनकी इस तरह से मृत्यु होती है, उनको like they got killed in a war. This is how complex this karma theory and the philosophy works, and it is, and Krishna also himself says in Bhagavad Gita that it is very complex to understand. So I hope it gets your answer get cleared. So is that okay? Okay.
So Amit Prabhu is saying how to dissolve our subtle body to get liberated.
हाँ, तो इसका उत्तर आएगा, एक्चुअली इसका उत्तर हमारे आगे ही था, बट वी आर नॉट, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट कवरिंग इट, सो वी विल आंसर इट इन अवर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इन अवर नेक्स्ट सेशन. बट द फूड फॉर द थॉट इज कि by cutting our karmas and by the process of Krishna consciousness, we can do that. So we can like, yes, so our body gets dissolved, so in that way, but we'll give a more better and a more understandable answers in our next session, because we're also running out of time.
Kanchan Mataji is saying, do we have a choice to get free of death and life? Can we do that in this lifetime? Very nice question.
Yes, Mataji. So yes, it is all a matter of choice only, actually, that what we are going to do, and whether we can do it in this lifetime. Yes, it is very much possible, and I would again say that yes, it is the same process of Krishna consciousness that through which we can get this thing done, and how that we will understand in our upcoming sessions. So
Nishant Prabhuji is having a question.
Yes, Nishant Prabhu. So I believe we only have a couple of minutes left, so we'll just quickly wrap it up.
Sure, Ronnie, probably you could answer on the next episode, next session. But yeah, I would like to ask the question. As you stated, that it's not mathematics or algebra. So it's not 1 + 1 = 2 or +1 and -1 = 0. Then what is the motivation of doing good karma preceded by a bad karma, or vice versa? Right, because that's what human tendency does, right? If you typically falls into a pit, or you do something bad, you continue to do that, because then you realize that, I mean, if you kill a person, 1 person or 10%, you'll ultimately get a death penalty, right? So what is the motivation of then having a good karma?
Yes, so motivation is, our Shastras tells that, so good karma is all those activities which we do on the basis of our Shastras, and bad karma is all those things which we don't follow, which are written in the Shastra, and based on that we get our sinful reactions, or we get our pious reactions. So the motivation is that gradually and step by step we will come to understand that yes, what is all this about, and want to get out of it. So this is the end motivation, that we will understand, our faith will develop in our Shastras, and because there is one thing written in our Shastras and we follow, we are getting the result, and eventually we will come to understand that yes, there are other things also which are written, and let me see कि उसमें लिखा क्या और है क्या, and what is the gist of the whole Shastras. Our faith will develop, and then and another thing is that because we are here in this material world to enjoy, and so what the Lord or the God has done is that they have given us a manual, that okay, you want to enjoy, so here is the manual, you do this, and then you won't get a reaction, or at least you won't get sin. So because sin degrades us even further, and if we don't follow it, then we will further be degraded. And but if we follow it, then we will at least remain on the same level, or even uplift ourselves to a better position, and eventually get out of it. So this is the motivation, like in short, but because the time is running out, I would have to stop here. And and I hope that there was some answer to it, but if not, maybe you can call me after the session, we can speak. And but otherwise, you please bring this question up in our next session, and we will definitely uh, uh, get the try to answer.
Sure. Thanks, Ron. Yeah.
So now we'll have to stop. I'm sorry that because we're running out of time and we have to start our next session at 6. And so please forgive us. And so we hope to see you in our next session at next Sunday at the same time. And so Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jagudguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. If you have any questions, then you can call me after the session, maybe around 7:30 or so, and then I would definitely be able to answer you. And you can also ask your questions in our next session. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.